It is a great day to be alive, and I am so thankful for God, Jesus Christ, who lives in us. In today's video titled Middle East Dreams Unfolding, The Split, I'm going to be sharing an update on two dreams as it pertains to the Middle East, war over in the Middle East, and what I have been seeing lately in the news as it pertains to this topic of the split. Before we get started, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing that I'm sharing is financial advice. I'm simply sharing dreams, visions, and interpretations that I feel God has given me as it relates to crypto. And I will share again because I think that it's very important that everyone is in the know about what is going on with Coinbase. I shared in a video back in March titled New Dream, Coinbase Hack in the Fall. And then on this week, I did an update to that video titled Coinbase Hacker's Dream Update because recently we heard this week or Friday that Coinbase had been hacked, and all of the details about that. I shared titles of articles and different things that you can go back and look up during your own time to see what's going on with Coinbase, but to most importantly pray and allow God to lead you accordingly when it comes down to whether you make the decision to stay with Coinbase or to leave Coinbase. But I feel like God has given us these warnings for a reason, and within these two videos I gave an interpretation of what I feel God was showing me as far as Coinbase and the fall, and then any updates to anything that I understand now as it relates to this Coinbase hack that God revealed to me back in March. Okay, now let's get into the video. Again, we're talking about these dreams that God has given me as it relates to the Middle East, seeing these dreams unfold, and then understanding something about a split. So let's rewind the tape to August the 11th, 2024, when God gave me the dream that I've titled Palestine and War. And in this dream, I shared that I saw a chart. The chart was titled Palestine. I had something written within this chart, but someone erased it, and they told me, no, the best way to explain this is war. And when they said the word war, I saw the word war being written in all caps. Towards the end of this dream, I understood, for whatever reason, I understood something about a split. There was no details as to what this was pertaining to, other than when I woke up, I knew this had something to do with Palestine and a war. But the split, the details of the split, I wasn't sure about. However, I will say that I have come across those who have been talking about some type of two-state split when it comes down to Palestine and Israel. I've seen an article recently that I'm going to put up here on the screen in just a second. But the most recent article that I've seen has me asking the question, God, which split are you showing me in this dream? What split were you showing me? Were you showing me the one that I've recently seen this article on, titled Leak Map Shows Israel's Plan to Split Palestine? And this article I saw on yesterday, which was the 17th of May. So is this the split, God, that you're referring to in this particular dream back in 2024? Or is it B, this article that's talking about Palestine being recognized as a state? Also another article about this particular split referring to two-state solutions. So this one, B, is mostly centered around what I have been hearing about different prophecies. If the Palestine is recognized as a state, then this would happen based on this prophecy. So which is it, God? Are you showing me A or B? Are you showing me or confirming through this dream what others have been seeing as far as if Palestine becomes a state, then that's not good for the U.S.? Or are you showing me something as simple as a split when it comes down to disbursement? And recently we've been hearing a lot about disbursement. Where will the people in Gaza, where will they be sent? Will they be sent here or there? And then we also know that Trump has had a lot to say about Gaza and what will happen after the fact. But as of now, again, I'm asking God, which of these two splits were you showing me in that dream about Palestine and war? Moving forward, the second Middle East dream that I see unfolding has to do with Netanyahu and the dream that I had about the single gunshot. And here's the video if you want to go back and search for it to find it, to listen to it, and to get all the details about that particular dream. But I want to focus now on the idiom. The idiom, the blood is on their head, simply because in this dream I heard a single gunshot, and I'll give you that interpretation, and I saw blood on top of Netanyahu's head. This idiom means that someone is responsible for the death of another person. It implies that they bear the blame for the tragic outcome. During this time that I had this dream, they were preparing for a ceasefire between Hamas and Israel. But my interpretation back then was that this single gunshot represented a ceasefire. Agreement would be broken. It would come to an end, because I saw cracked glass after I heard the gunshot. The blood on top of his head, we've already talked about that, how someone is to be blamed for the death or the outcome of another individual. My interpretation of that is centered around the hostages and their families. In other words, blood of the remaining hostages will be on the head of Netanyahu based on whatever decision that he's going to make pertaining to the war. And on May 1st this year, I saw an article that says Netanyahu calls defeating Israel's enemy the supreme objective, not freeing the hostages. And I underlined a few things here as there was a lot of backlash over what Netanyahu had to say. I wanted to really point out is the fact that representatives of these hostage families did not like the fact that Netanyahu's main objective was to defeat the enemy versus freeing the hostages. And also here it says that the families of these hostages are concerned. I'm quite sure that they are. And so based on these two dreams alone, these two dreams dealing with the Middle East, I feel God has given them to me for a reason. I believe that the outcome of whatever happens here will affect the U.S. in some way. So let us continue to watch as well as pray. We've seen recently in the news how some individuals did not like the interaction that Trump had with the Saudi Arabia prince and all of those dealings. But only God knows the outcome of all of this. For me, I feel that he's giving me a heads up that there is possibly going to be a split. Again, which one? Is it A or is it B? And as I'm looking here at this Trump Gaza, it reminds me of another dream that I had about a pink balloon. If you have not seen those two videos where I shared the bald eagle and the pink balloon dream, and then I did a follow-up video after that when I saw the Trump AI video as it relates to Gaza. If you haven't seen those two videos, I encourage you to check them out. I'm still praying about this pink balloon. I was kind of shocked when I saw the AI video. Had watched it a few times, and it wasn't until after maybe the fourth time that I actually recognized this pink balloon here. And it made me think about this bald eagle dream that I had that had to do with the pink balloon. So if you haven't seen that, check it out. I'm still praying about the outcome of this pink balloon. And I think it is pointing me in the direction again of the Middle East and something to do with Gaza. If God gives me anything more about this particular dream, I will share that. That is all that I have for this video. Until the next one, God bless.